What do you feed the chicken in the winter?
I have in the winter time. I feed them all that kale out there all winter, and if the ground freezes in the snow, I have a barrel of whole oats, barley, and wheat, which is organic, that I use, but I rarely use it because it's not doesn't happen often. But I feed my chickens totally out of my yard the whole year. If you notice my chickens, they're not pecking on one another. They're very well displaced. They eat really well. Does anybody ever had a real egg?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody who hasn't had a real egg? I mean, one that's grown. My eggs, the shells are really hard. When you crack them, the yolk stands up. It doesn't flatten out, and it's dark orange.
Yeah.
If anybody hasn't had one of those, you're welcome to go to the chicken pen and take some home and eat them, and just see, because they'll blow you away at how good they are.
That's how they're supposed to.
And a whole egg is probably the most complete whole food that exists. It's
Yeah.
powerful food, awesome food.
For bees. I see you have for mason bees.
Mason bees.
Honeybees.
I don't have honeybees because they don't work. Honeybees were brought from Europe. They're not native. And when my trees are blooming in April and it's cold, the honeybees have honey at home. They will not come out and pollinate. But those mason bees, because they have no honey at home, they have to go out and pollinate no matter what the weather is, because that's the only food they can get.
So at what time do they basically go back in and hibernate? You know, they go back in.
I'm not sure, but you'll see now they'll start to develop. They'll start laying their eggs in there, and they'll seal those off, so they're actually laying eggs now. So I'm not sure when they actually hibernate. I don't know, but I just know that they love holes and wood. See, when I built this building out of this really cheap wood because it had it full of holes, because I got it really cheap, I was noticing all these mason bees showing up. So I realized, I'm like, wow, this is cool, you know. So this is an accident. It was really a cool accident. So now I've created boxes for them because they're such good pollinators. And you know, mason bees, you ever look at them? They're really tame. They're like a big black fly, and they don't sting. They're really pleasant to be around. They're very, very nice bees.
See them all over the place.
Yeah, if you notice, this place is teeming with bees because it's a healthy, live place.
So this you can grind up pine, fir.
Anything. Anything works. Because again, the Creator takes nothing off the planet. Everything falls to the ground, and where man hasn't been, everything's growing great. And the stupid jerk man rips the cover off, puts it in landfills, creates methane, takes out our oxygen, and thinks he's smart. I'm just telling you, man, it's insane.
When we first do it, at our place we got grass. Now you just
knock
mow
it down, knock the grass out, leave it right there. If you're doing an orchard or plants, you can put 8 inches or more of wood chips, take out all the grass. If you do a garden, put down the paper, and then 4 inches of wood chips over it. If you do it now, by spring you'll never see any paper or grass. It'll all be rotted and make a beautiful soil for it.
So paper, then
Then the 4 inches of wood chips, and then go to bed for the winter, and come spring, you're ready to plant.
Newspaper.
Newspaper, or what works better, if you go to like Home Depot or Lowe's, they have these rolls of brown paper contractors use in the houses to cover it. That you can roll big long lengths out really quick, so it's much quicker to apply. And that really works well.
And when is the time
so
to use the chicken poop?
This is not chicken poop. You see that stuff in there? That was my whole garden. Everybody, you guys come up here and look. Everybody come here. I want you to see my soil manufacturing plant.
Yeah.
Come over here. I want you to see my soil manufacturing plant right here. You see, if you look at the grade out there, how much lower it is than here, it's really a lot lower out there than here. This is like 2 feet deep of this most beautiful, you can see where they dig over that beautiful black stuff. This is all being created from my yard waste. And the chicken manure in this mess is probably 1 part per 10,000 parts of organic live waste. And that's why there's no odor here. The chicken manure is so dispersed, so spread out, that it doesn't stink. And you can see these chickens are constantly, all day long, picking and eating. They're breaking this stuff down. That's why I had to get 30 more little ones, because they're not keeping up, because I create so much yard waste. And you see, and from all my yard waste, all that beautiful black stuff you see in my garden over there comes from here. And for the rest of my life, all I need is my wheelbarrow, a screen, and my shovel. I'm good for life. And you couldn't buy anything comparable to that. And this is all created for yard waste for free. And then I get the eggs for bonus. I'm just loving God. I'm telling you, He's so genius. His design is. And see these chickens. See, if you have all that heavy, nasty stuff in your compost pile, and you're having to turn it and break it up, it's a lot of work. I just dump it here. They eat it all. They break it down. They turn it back into that beautiful black stuff for free. And they do it to it totally on their own. I don't have to tell them.
And it doesn't smell. It's not wet.
There's no smell here
Yeah,
because the chicken manure is so dispersed.
Yeah, the poop is
1 part per
dry.
10,000 parts.
Yeah.
It's so spread out. See, the reason why chicken pens stink is because the poop is concentrated. You know what's so brain dead about us? When something stinks, intuitively you know something's not right. This is not right. And we've lived in a culture that we live with stink. You go by feedlots, you can't even breathe the air, it's so potent stink. And we think that's okay. And you buy that trash that comes from that place? Are you realizing how you lost your mind? I'm serious. You've lost your mind. Stink is indicating that something's not right. It's rotten. It's not right. And we live with it and think it's okay. That stench is okay. I'll buy that from that stinking place. What is wrong with us? I'm telling you, man, it's huge.
Paul, we don't have any chickens, so should we throw our scraps right onto the wood chips?
Pull the wood chips back. You put it in the wood chips, the birds and all these critters will come get it. Pull
Put
the
it
wood
back.
chips back, put it in the ground and cover it.
And cover it.
Then only you and your wife will know it's there.
Okay.
Hide it.
Good, that's all.
Yeah, just hide it. Get out, you know. It's not seem like a mess with it. Under the ground, break down the rock, it's fine. You know, ever notice nature knows there's no help in breaking stuff down? It's just, as soon as you drop an apple, it turns yellow.
Right.
You didn't make that happen. It's in it. Everything's designed to turn back to good. It's by design. Just a great idea. Everything God created turns back to good. It's beautiful recycling.
Do you use any kind of starter feed or anything for your chicks?
When they were little babies, because they're totally little, I got the good organic grain that was ground up, and I fed them in one bag. Then after that, I got them a bag of the grower, which is a step above, and then that was it. They're on their own now. Didn't take much. Because look how well they're doing. They know how to eat. You know, no one's teaching them. And they're out here, they're eating all those cucumbers and eating everything. You know, they're totally happy and they're growing well.
So you keep the chickens there. You keep them and they go up the tree.
No, they don't go up the tree because I trim their feathers back. I don't want them flying out of here. If they flew out of here, they go to my garden and wipe out my garden. So I bring everything to them. And I have them process it here and take it to my garden at my convenience, not theirs.
And where they spend the night.
In that building, and I close the door. Because we have raccoons and cougars that will eat them.
In that hall.
Wait, you have cougars up here?
Yes.
What do you do for deer?
The dog, that dog will make you...
You leave the dog out all night?
Oh yeah. And she barks, you can hear her, you know, and then she's great. You notice my trees aren't wiped out. If I didn't have a dog, they'd destroy my trees. Isn't it cool how simple it is? You know what I love about simple? Simple is a very safe place. You can't get lost there. It's a safe place. You can't get lost. Can I tell you something interesting from a really intelligent man? I love this statement he made. Let me get his name here. Albert Einstein. He's really intelligent, incredibly genius man. He made this statement that I love. He said, if the solution is simple, God is answering. If the solution is simple, God is answering. And he explained why. If you fully understand something, you can explain it very simply. Because you understand it. You can make it simple because you have full understanding. Because we look through the glass darkly, we don't have full understanding. Everything we talk about is complicated. Because we don't have full understanding. Where God, who has full understanding, makes it very simple. And I love the word he says, except you become like a little child, simple, you'll never enter the kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of heaven is not complicated. It's very simple. It's just, and it's so convenient, it's so nice, safe place, just enjoyable, like no headache, no stress, just like, yeah, simple, fun.
Well, where we live is very windy. And usually people say, you can grow that because the wind dry out the soil. What about it?
Is anything growing there? Or is it a desert?
Yeah, no, it grows.
Oh yeah,
Oh, excuse me? Something's growing there? Excuse me. You just said nothing will grow there. So the people who told you that are liars?
Or I'm stupid.
And so you just ask God, what can I grow here? And if the wind gets too severe, plant hedges. See that sequoia hedge there? That really protects my garden. When the wind blows in the wintertime, my kales keep blowing down. Major protection. It's a great hedge. I still have plenty of sun. So just ask God, you know, what hedges should I plant? How can I deal with this? And then he's fine. Just my point is just start asking God, has amazing answers that are really good, that are beyond what you can ask or think. Let me just give you an illustration. This is how brain that I am. I'm walking down my driveway one day, and my wife's been bugging me to plant nasturtiums because she loves them in salad. There's nasturtiums out there. I'm saying, now God, my wife wants nasturtiums, but I want to plant in my garden because they spread out all over the place. They just spread, and you can't control them. And so I says, where can I plant them? He says, oh, plant them on your apple trees. So I'm arguing with God. Can you believe it? I'm telling God, God, the package says planted full sun. I did that. I'm being honest. That's how brain dead I am. And God was so cool. He's not arguing. He says, just do it. And so I did. You know what happened? This just shows you the heart of the Father. He is such a Father. See, I was planning on having to plant someplace every year because that's what I do. Those nasturtiums have been there now for 4 years. I'm not planting again because when they finish blooming, they create seed and they fall on the ground and they're reseeding themselves. And this is the heart of God. I'm putting them in a place they won't be in your way. They look kind of nice, and you'll have them forever, and you never have to work.
I love that.
You see, I would have never even thought to ask, could I have this forever with no work?
Yeah.
Are you hearing me? That would never entered my mind as a possibility. God says, just do this, and you get that. He is so good. And he's beyond what you can ask or think. And you know what the word tells us? You have not because you ask not. It's so pathetic how we don't get it. And we go to the finite man who write books that don't know anything, and pay for that where God's free,
Exactly.
totally accessible, and he invites us to ask, what's wrong with us?